Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Wordle with Art. We're about to solve Wordle number 657 for Friday, April 7th. And this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a double triple. So what that means is, within my solution path, I must include two words that have three of the same letter. Okay, guys? So we're talking about a crazy word like fluff or error or melee, and a couple other awesome words that you guys have already dedicated your solution to. However, I am not going to start with the double letters because I want to give myself some breathing room and try to narrow things down first, then put them in as opposed to putting them up front. You could make arguments, I think, for either strategy, but let's go with art strategy. And of course, to narrow down the database of remaining words, you must go with slate. Okay, so now let's think about this. I could continue to screen. Yeah, screen always looks good. I always have to, because I have two screens, I always want to make sure that everything's set up correctly. Now, I could use my strategy of, if I can remember what the best word is to strip the database even further with SL, then I could really hone in on what the word is and then throw in, my two triples. What do we do in this case? Yellow S and a yellow L. I think it would really help. I think it would get this down beautifully. It's not, shoot. It's not basil. Because we lost the A. I'm pretty sure, it's funny. Oh, this is actually not a bad idea. I'm pretty sure Squirtle, in this case, goes with lols. And that would be perfect because I get tremendous positional information on the L, which I think will be very important. The S most likely will not go at the end, so that's slightly unfortunate. But hey, we get our first triple out of the way, so I'm going to go with lols. Ooh! Whoa! The S is at the end. That's insane. The S is at the end. Now, I can already tell that this is probably going to be locus. Okay? Yeah, a locus. However, in this, and it'd be satisfying to get a 3, right? But no, we're going to stick to the rules of the game. And actually, what I could do is, I don't want to get too cocky here. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's locus. That's really one of the only few words I can think of that would actually end with an S without being plural. Locus, and then the plural is actually loci, because I guess it's probably Latin. So what I could do is now put in my second triple letter word. I could do, I can't think of one that would involve 3 C's, but we should certainly get the U in there just to make sure that that's what comes in front of the S, and then we're all set. So we could do fluff. Why not? We haven't had too many F words recently, except for, of course, flora. So let's just do fluff. That'll confirm that we've got the U. It won't be in the right position, so if all goes well, the U will be yellow. Yes, it is, and I do believe we can finish this off in style. I mean, I'm pretty sure that this is the most efficient way you could solve this puzzle. No, I take that back. For those who actually started with their triples for the first and second guess, yes, of course, you could get it in 3. So do we have locus? Yes, we do! Another challenge succeeded. Oh, my goodness. That's fantastic. Now, guys, I hope you have some seat belts attached to your seats right now, because this challenge, which we will be doing for number 658 for April 8th, which will be on Saturday, is, I would argue, the hardest yet. Okay, this is going to be the hardest yet. Let's go ahead and, as we always do, clear out some space so that I can show you what the challenge is going to look like. I think it's very helpful to actually demonstrate with a live example that I did on Infinite Wordle so that you guys can clearly see what we're looking for. All right, so here it is, guys. It's called the snake. All right, it's called the snake. You guys are just too darn good. I already see a ton of you have completed successfully every challenge so far, so we have to crank it up a notch. And this is a huge notch, okay? In fact, I'm going to ratchet up the difficulty to maximum level, Okay. This is a guaranteed 10 out of 10. And I strongly recommend that if you want to preserve your streak, do not attempt this challenge, okay? Do not attempt this challenge. So here's how it works. Why is it called the snake? Because you have to imagine a little snake slithering from one row to the next. And the way it works is, look at my example, right? So I started with Soleil, but you can effectively start with any word you want. But the rules of this challenge are that the next word you use has to start with the last letter of the previous row. So since Soleil ends in a T, I must begin my next guess with a T. So I went with tenor. And by the way, without giving away too many strategies, you have to be extremely careful about what letters you end in because it may be very difficult to start with that letter or vice versa, okay? So we went from Soleil to tenor, and tenor ends in an R. So what does my third guess have to begin in? You guessed it, it has to begin with an R. So I went with wretch, which might not have been the best guess, but that's okay. Wretch ends in an H, so my next word has to begin with an H. So I picked hound, and I did that because I wanted to test the U, because by that point I was already very certain that the answer was either going to be debit or debut, okay? So I went with hound, and that got me the U. And so then I was able to start the answer with debut. So it's very, very tricky. You see that you have to do two things. Obviously, you have to solve the Wordle, and you have to make sure that you maintain that snake-like pattern. Okay, so last letter begins the next guess first letter, and then the last letter of that guess begins the first letter of the next guess, and so on. And it has to complete all the way to the solution, right? You can't just come up with a brand new word for your solution that doesn't fit from the last letter of the previous guess. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. It's pretty, believe it or not, it's pretty straightforward in terms of the rules go. But boy, when you're solving it, it's going to play with your mind because you have to be extremely careful how you pick those words. You really do. So good luck on this, guys. Good luck. This is going to be a fun one. Incidentally, if it makes you feel any better, this particular solution that I came up with came after 10 tries, okay, guys? So basically, you know, it was about a 10% success ratio. Now, I've kind of caught on to some built-in strategies within this challenge, so I think I can improve with time. But it took me 10 shots to get you this clever little Soleil tenor Wretch Hound's debut. All right, guys, so good luck on this one. I think there's going to be quite a few fails. You never know. It could be me. And remember, at any point that you know that you're screwed and you cannot put in that guess because it's just not going to work out, then you can bail and just try to solve it normally, okay, so that you don't hurt your streak. Well, with that in mind, guys, I hope you have a successful challenge. And, of course, I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow with yet another edition of Wordle with Art.